This is AEP 858, Data Analysis, Module 9. We're looking at discussing first the readings that we did. I thought they were very insightful. If we're talking about perceptual data, measuring what matters. Talked about, first of all, that we can measure everything. And if we get that out of our minds, where some things we can't measure, well, then opens up our minds to what really matters. Talked about school perception data is the understanding of what students want to do in the future and how they prefer to learn. You're going to kind of hear that theory throughout as we go through. On 5 tips for achieving excellence, perceptual data was talked about as collecting perceptions of the school by students, teachers, and parents, allowing staff to understand how culture and climate improves student learning. We talked about continuous improvement. Their perceptual data definition can tell us about how students, staff, and parents are feeling about the learning environment and giving insight into what changes can be made to improve. And then the last one, answering the questions that count. Didn't really see a lot of perceptual data here, but it just reinforced that we are making and need to make and have the right questions to ask the students, staff, and parents. So if we go back to what perceptual data is, what perceptual data will tell us, and how it will affect our school, we need to think about, even in my own classroom, I'm asking my students, what do you like about math? Each trimester, I give them a paper of reflection. I say, what do you like about math? What do you not like about math? What would your parents say about your math? What would you like to tell your parents about your math? So we're reflecting as from teacher to student on each lesson that we do. Why can't we do that with the students, the parents, and the staff also? And taking that data and those comments and putting it in an easy to read, easy to look at data collection, and talk about what are some changes we can make as a staff. How can we improve student learning? How can we make them more engaged? How can we make them feel not bored? How can we pull the most out of each and every student? And to use this perceptual data is just what we talked about. Being able to put it into a formative place as a future building administrator, being able to put it in a formative place where I can bring my staff together and say, here's what the parents are saying. Here's what you teachers are saying. Here's what the kids are saying. Now, how do we attack this? How do we make this better? How do we make it better for you? You want more plan time. I can make that happen. Small school that I work in right now, USD 323 Rock Creek. I work at the North School, Westmoreland, 145 students. How can I take, as a future administrator, all 145 students and give you the time you need? It doesn't have to be all day, but I can give you that time to where you can feel like you can go plan, because that's what you need. Or plan together. I can say, the first Friday of every month, we're going to look at data as a staff, and I'm going to take your kids for the first 2 hours. Or the parents, we're looking at the parents and they're saying there's not enough communication. What can we do better? Can we send out weekly emails talking about what the students learned? Can we put together a newsletter? Or the kids, if we continually see that the kids are disengaged in math, math is so boring, math is this, math and that, how can we engage these students in math to where it's just not us up there talking and them up there and them sitting there learning and trying to retain this information? What can we do? And we can spin our wheels that way. So I think we're on the right track. I think perception data is important. I think we already do it as teachers, but as administrators, we need to remember to send out those surveys not only to parents, but also to students and also to staff, because we can't forget about our staff and just assume that we know what they want. Make sure we're on the right track and yoked and going forward together. Thank you and have a great night.